Everyone. Welcome. And as a result of COVID-19, we cannot do our traditional Memorial Day parade to honor our fallen veterans, but it is imperative that we have this service this morning to recognize those who gave it all to serve our country. I'd like to welcome again everyone, our governing body members, fire department, police department, and especially our veterans who are here with us today. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your service. We'll begin today's service with the playing of the national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Mr. Alan Bird, a Bloomingdale veteran.
Uncover. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Cover. I found one little appropriate saying today. It kind of sums up a lot of things. This inscription is on the tomb of the unknown soldier. Here rests in honored glory an American soldier, known but to God. Our commander of 154 is not present today, but he thanks everybody for coming out, and he has to work, but thank you for coming out today.
Thank you, Alan. At this time, it gives me great honor to introduce the commander of VFW 8096, Wayne Stein.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon. First responders, citizens, patriots, and fellow veterans. I'm Commander Wayne Stein, Veterans of Foreign Affairs Post 8096. The VFW sends condolences to the Bloomingdale Police Department and the family of fallen police officer Gary Walker. America and the VFW respectfully salute your service to our community and to our nation. Let us remember all the brave veterans who sacrificed their lives, dying on foreign battlefields thousands of miles away so we can live free. 626,319 from World War I to present. Let's travel back in time to the forgotten war, Korea. U.S. Marine Colonel Chesty Puller, commander of the 1st Marine Regiment. On December 5th, 1950, Marines and soldiers fought in bitterly cold conditions, tired and hungry. The Marines were surrounded by 7 Chinese divisions, Colonel Puller gathered his Marines and stated, "Men, they're in front of us, they're behind us, they're to our left and they're to our right. They can't get away this time." In this uncertain and trying time in America, let us remember, as Americans, when we are surrounded by an enemy, whether foreign or domestic, we can overcome, prevail, and fight our way out, like the Marines of the Trojan Reservoir did many years ago. God bless you all. God bless America.
Thank you, Wayne, very much. Again, I welcome everyone, including our virtual audience, as this will be displayed on Facebook and all social media. Today, we gather to remember that it is a soldier, not the president, who gives us democracy. That is a soldier, not the Congress, who takes care of us. It is a soldier, not the reporter, who gives us freedom of speech. It is a soldier, not the poet, who gives them freedom of speech. It's a soldier who salutes the flag, who serves beneath the flag. These words sum up the meaning of today as we honor the men and women who have lost their lives serving our country. Memorial Day was born of our shared human need to understand, to remember, and to honor those who have died so that we may live as free men and women. Memorial Day is at one a day of remembrance, a day of mourning, and a day of celebration. President Harry Truman once said, "I think I know the American soldier. He does not want gratitude or sympathy. He had a job to do. He did not like it, but he did it. And now he wants to come home and start the life he once loved." Those we honor today never got the chance to start again the life they once loved. Those we honor today are gone, and we are left with the difficult duty to properly honor those who died for our freedom. They died, we live. They are lost forever, and we enjoy each day the gift they gave us at the greatest price. The lives of those we honor today, our fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, children, friends, and neighbors, are valuable lives lost. But life's not lost in vain. Each life lost contributed to the nation that we are, strong and free. Now it is our responsibility to never forget these men and women who gave us our freedoms, not just today, but each and every day of our lives. We all must deeply understand what this day means. If you take one thing home with you today, it is that we should never forget these men and women. If there is one thing you will do today, it is educate someone who may not quite understand. If there is one thing we should do every day, it is to thank a veteran or an active member of our armed forces. We remember the depth of their sacrifice. We remember their legacy of duty and courage. We remember because if we fail to remember, we will forget that freedom is not free. But to remember is not enough. We must prove ourselves worthy of the great gift received by rededicating ourselves to the peace given to us by these lives lost. So let us dedicate ourselves today to the task of the fallen. Let us also honor those who have died by providing greater assistance to the veterans who live. Let us realize that the best way to honor those who died is to serve those who lived. For those who gave their lives for America, we can mourn their loss and honor their memory. There's nothing more we can do for them for all they've given for us. Now certainly, they would wish that we reach out today to their brothers and sisters in arms who have survived and need our help. So today, as we mourn, we commemorate and celebrate those lost in war. Let us pause and reflect on the sacrifice they have given all of us and what they gave us. Again, I thank everyone for coming today. I thank our veterans for your service. May God bless America and all of us here today. At this time, we will have the laying of the wreaths at the monuments, followed by the playing of taps. This concludes our services for this morning. I would ask those watching this to continue to watch this video, as we will post a council meeting from last year where we dedicated street names to honor veterans who lost their lives and lived in Bloomingdale. So I ask you to continue to watch this video. Again, I thank each and every one of you for coming today, especially our veterans. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you for your service. Again, this concludes our services. Thank you. Our next presentation is honoring veterans and their families of veterans who lived in our borough and lost their lives in service. This evening we are honoring the veterans and their families by honorarily dedicating the streets where they resided when they entered the service in their name. These veterans were not able to return home for their service to our country. Before I present each family, I'd like to talk about another individual who's going to be mad I'm doing this. Mr. Ray Bozzard, a Bloomingdale resident, who also is a Vietnam veteran. Mr. Bozzard is an instrumental part of Mission Honor Veterans Monument in front of the Butler High School that you hopefully all have seen, and if you have not, please take the time to see it. It is Mr. Bozzard who also reached out, along with the VFW, to me in the borough to talk about exactly what we're doing this evening. So, a small token of our appreciation. I would like to present Mr. Mazur for all he's done for our veterans and for himself serving our country, a key to the city and the borough. At this time, I'd ask our veteran who serves on the Council of the United States Air Force, Mr. Tony Costa, to please come off the dais. And I'd ask our Chief of Police to help join me in the unveiling of our street signs.
Yes.
Before we do so, I think we do one at a time. Before we do so, we have 14 streets we will be dedicating. And we invited the families we were able to get in touch with. And honestly, in the crowd, I'm not sure which families are here with us, so I'm going to present a certificate and call out the veteran's name. And we will also be presenting the certificate, which I'll read in a moment, a small photo of the sign that will be placed in our borough. So gentlemen, if we can unveil the first row of street signs dedicated to Bloomingdale veterans. Unveil the second. Ladies and gentlemen, these will be the signs dedicating the streets these veterans resided on the time they entered military service and, as I stated, never returned home. Beginning with Private First Class Norman L. Sanders, World War II Army veteran who resided on Orchard Street. Lieutenant Albert H. Vreeland, World War II Army veteran who resided on Main Street. Kevin King, Vietnam veteran who resided on Rathman Road. Roy DeNike Jr., who resided on Glenwild Avenue. Henry G. Warman, Korean War Army veteran, who resided on Highland Ave. Robert Decker, Vietnam Army veteran, who resided on Cedar Street. Arnold Outer, World War II veteran, who resided on Henyon Place. Frank E. Decker, Korean War Army veteran, who resided on Cedar Street. Thank you. Lawrence Van Orden, World War II Army veteran, who resided on Lower Rafkin Road. Sergeant Edward Bodie, I'll pronounce it, I don't want to get that incorrect, Vietnam veteran, who resided on Orchard Street. Richard Mosman, Vietnam veteran, who resided on Upper Reeve Avenue. Daniel Zack, Vietnam Army veteran. You can help me with that one, Ray? It's Walter Drive. Thank you so much. Alfred Green, World War II Army veteran who resided on Mactapin Road. Thomas Byrne, Persian Gulf Army veteran who resided on Rafkin Road. And William Skeens, World War II U.S. Marine Corps veteran who resided on Birch Street. So it is the honor of the Borough of Bloomingdale to dedicate those streets in memory and name of the veterans you see before you for their service to our country. So if we can have a round of applause for each and every one. Each family member will receive a certificate of appreciation and gratitude. They all will state with great pride and admiration, the road's name is in the certificate, will honorarily be named after the veteran in memory of his brave service and sacrifice in defense of our great nation and our freedom. Proudly presented this 11th day of June 2019 by myself, the mayor, and the governing body. And I'm honored at this time to welcome, again, if everyone is with us this evening, the family of Lawrence Van Orden, which Rafkin Road will be honorarily named after. Do we have any family member? Thank you, sir. Again, with great pride and admiration, Orchard Street will be honorarily named Edward Bodie in memory of his brave service. Do we have anyone from the Bodie family here with us this evening? Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Certainly with great pride and admiration that Rafkin Road will honorarily be named Thomas Byrne in memory of his brave service. Persian Gulf Army veteran. Certainly with great pride to dedicate Cedar Street, Frank E. Decker Jr. Certainly the honor of the borough to name Walter Drive, Daniel Zach Drive in honor of Vietnam Army veteran. Yes. We are certainly honored to name Rafkin Road, Kevin King Road, in honor of Vietnam veteran Kevin King. with much pride, the borough, with admiration, honorarily named Orchard Street, Norman L. Sanders Street, in honor of World War II veterans. Much appreciation and gratitude. The borough will be naming McAfee Road honorarily Alfred E. Green Jr. Road, World War II Army veteran. Again, those are the invitations we sent. Did I miss any ones? If I did, get you a free photo of the certificate as well. So every veteran, okay. We honor all of you. We honor your relatives. We honor our veterans. Again, I thank Mr. Baza for helping me put this together. Thank you all. Yeah, it means a lot to everybody in our entire borough. So our wonderful Public Works Department will hopefully this time that he's all hung. We just thought with the many we were doing, it was easier to do them in this venue versus on set. So for many years to come, and forevermore, we can honor our veterans in the homes and live in a place they call home. So we can have another round of applause. Here's mine. All right. Please do. Yes. Hi, folks. Tom Riley, I'm the history teacher here in the town. I put this together in recognition for these fine gentlemen that served our town and our country. We went to school with a lot of them. Tom and Vern I had in school. But more than Sanders, the Sanders family, if you got me right there. They grew up around the corner from me on Union Avenue on Orchard Street. And Norman had a son born on August 31st. And it was a happy day on Orchard Street for his grandparents, Ed Sanders, some people might have known him, his wife Sadie. It was their first grandchild. And both their sons, Tom's father and Norman, were in service. And Norman was stationed in England at this time, preparing for the second wave of invasion of France. And he was a member of the 11th Regiment, 5th Infantry Division. And they were connected to General Patton's 3rd Armored Army, 3rd Armored Division, which is going to push the Germans 400 miles across France all the way to the border with Germany. And Norman was part of it. They ran into a big problem when they hit the city of Minsk. Minsk is right on the border of Germany and France. It's a medieval city, and it was highly fortified by the Germans, who had surrounded it with 45 hardened positions. The Moselle River was one step from the Rhine and one step from Germany, so the Germans were making a stance at the Moselle River, at the city of Metz, and it stopped Patton dead on his tracks. First attack on Metz, they had to cross the Moselle River, amphibious attack, and it was beaten back with tremendous casualties on both sides. The 11th Regiment that Norman was part of, they had 50% casualties. That means every other soldier was either killed or wounded. And unfortunately, one of those soldiers in that first attack was Norman Sanders of Bloomingdale. After the war,
they brought home 36 bodies from France, saying they had been buried in France. They brought them back to be buried in Beverly Veterans Cemetery in Burlington County. And there was a ceremony at Sloan Park for these fallen veterans that were having a ceremony today. And the Norman Sadie Sanders family was awarded a Gold Star banner, which was for fallen veterans. By 1943, we had about 75 of these hanging around the town of Bloomingdale windows. A blue star meant you had son, father, family members serving. A gold star meant that they were fallen. And Sanders family had blue star and a gold star. There was another ceremony when a army car pulled up in front of the Sanders house, and Norman's wife Grace, and this is in 1947. The army car drove them to Dover where there was a ceremony, and the 3.5-year-old son, Norman Sanders II, was awarded his father's Bronze Star for bravery above and beyond all he did. So he was a hero. And I'm sure it wasn't a dry eye and loyalty from that little warrior. So I just wanted to share that. I put this together for the Sanders family, just a little bit of history to take home with me. And this is the kind of stuff that we hope someday we'll be able to preserve in a Bloomingdale museum. Just one of the stories of lots and lots of stories. And the Sanders.
Before I thank you one more time, all the families, I do want to say, continuing to always honor the veterans, part of the joking to say the never-ending Sloan Park project, the monuments are going to be restored. So basically, the field stone installations and what an honor to tribute to that. Again, to the families, thank you for your family member service. Thank you for being here this evening. Mr. Bosby, thank you again. Thank you for what you do for our veterans. We're going to take a 5-minute recess so that your families will join us for the ceremonies, and then we have a full agenda after that.